Jambrook. Vineyard. There's ladies in the morning. How you going? Yeah.
Off the road, Bob.
Hey? How are you, Darren?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
He's off. That's all you think?
Everybody, thank you so much for your patience. We've just needed to get a few things organised before we begin. I'd like to begin today by welcoming you all to this beautiful setting to celebrate and witness Elise and Rob's love and commitment to each other in marriage. My name is Megan Bogart and I am incredibly honoured to be here today to officiate this ceremony for you all. Elise and Rob have invited you all here today because you are so incredibly important to them. You have supported their journey of love together and they cannot wait for you to share in their future. They could not imagine getting married without you, their nearest and dearest, here by their side. We also have Caitlin, our photographer, joining us to take photos, so you can just sit back and be present in this moment with Elise and Rob. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, I ask that you all stand for the arrival of our beautiful bride. ceremony. Can we please just take a moment to appreciate how incredible Elise, Rob and their entourage look today? Give them a big round of applause. I think we can do a little better than that. Let's give them a big cheer. Elise and Rob have requested that you please ensure you have your mobile devices away for this ceremony. However, they just wanted to give you a moment or two to take Okay, now it is really important to Elise and Rob that you will all relax and really enjoy today, and that includes this ceremony as much as the party that's going to follow. We do welcome you to be actively involved in this ceremony, so if you see or hear something you love, please let us know how you feel. Clapping and cheering is most welcome. I'm very lucky to get to do what I do. Being a celebrant means getting to know couples during one of the happiest times of their lives. They have been, what they have achieved together, and of course their hopes and dreams for the future. Now there is no better time than a wedding to reflect on the two people standing in front of us and how exactly they came to this significant moment. When asked about their first meeting 10 years ago, Elise and Rob's answers varied slightly from one another. Perhaps this was because on this very night, Elise was assigned the role of designated driver, and Rob, well, he was in no state to drive that night. Elise met Rob and his best mate Daniel at a bowling alley the night before Rob's birthday. Elise recognised Rob might have already had a few drinks before their meeting, as he had a pretty good buzz going on. She claimed they spent the night bowling, getting to know one another, and even heading back to Rob's place to play some pool and hang out, as well as meeting Rob's parents on this very night. They hit it off so much so that Elise was invited to Rob's birthday party the following night, again at the bowling alley on this night. They varied a lot there. I did my best. When asked of their first impressions of one another, Elise said that she liked Rob's cheeky grin, his laugh, and his sense of adventure. Rob's first impression of Elise was that she was quiet, but sure of things. He could tell she thinks things through carefully. Rob saw something in Elise, and he instigated their first date, asking her to the bowling alley yet again. This became a regular thing of theirs, even though Rob admits Elise kept winning. They got to know each other's best traits, such as Rob's reliability and the way he is always there for Elise when she needs him, usually accompanied by a cheeky smile and a cuddle. For Rob, he got to know Elise's creative and funny side, which he says is his favourite thing about her. When asked how they were different to one another, Elise said that Rob is spontaneous, whereas she is a planner and likes to know when they're doing things and how they're going to do it. This perfectly aligned with Rob's story about their trips to the snow, where Rob is constantly injuring himself while Elise walks away unscathed. As all couples here would know, the journey of getting to know a romantic partner also includes getting to know some of their least desirable habits. Elise says that Rob has little patience when it comes to sitting still, resulting in tapping and fidgeting, which is very frustrating for Elise. She also says Rob is great at starting projects, but not so good at finishing them. Rob could only identify one annoying habit of Elise's, which is her incredible ability to procrastinate when it comes to pretty much everything. When asked about why they couldn't possibly live without one another, Elise said, to be honest, he'd probably be lost somewhere. Rob struggles with directions and getting to places, even if they have been there previously. He is also not so great with the English language, so Elise acts as an interpreter most of the time. Rob said life without Elise would be dangerous, as there would be no one like Elise with a logical and problem-solving mind to stop him. Elise and Rob are so thankful for their respective families, welcoming each of them with open arms. Elise considers herself lucky to have a second family in Rob's that she completely gets along with, loves and respects. She shared that nothing is ever too much trouble and their kindness and generosity has made her feel at ease. That and the fact she enjoys the food. She has never been offered more food in her life. Elise would also like to use this moment to give a shout out to Uncle Peter for allowing her to be the leader in the family. Rob would like to thank Elise's family for always jumping in when it counts, and of course he's very thankful that everybody loves a drink. I'm now going to ask you both some questions and you will answer with I do. Elise, do you promise to take on life together as partners, best friends and each other's biggest supporters? Do you promise to be Rob's conscious and logical thinking and continue to help Rob navigate life even when he can't remember where you're going? Do you promise to keep laughing at his jokes and after an extended period of silence following a disagreement, continue to make the peace offering of food or a beverage? I do. Rob, do you promise to continue to keep Elise on her toes with your spontaneity? Do you promise to keep life interesting for her? And do you promise to lend her a hand when required, specifically the one with a ring on it? Conversations with Elise, he finally asked her, "Aren't you going to pick up your coffee?" At which point Elise picked up the top cup and noticed that the one sitting on the bottom had "Will you marry me?" written on it. Elise was stunned, even though he made her walk past the ring for 8 months before proposing. But of course it was an easy and resounding yes. Elise slammed her hand over the top of the cup to avoid her co-workers spotting it, and they kept it a secret until Christmas Day, where they shared the news with their loved ones. So now that brings us to today, the most special day in your love story so far. Elise and Rob, I'm sure you've already made promises to each other about your relationship and your dreams for the future, but you now wish to take that further with marriage. And marriage is more than a promise, it's better. It's about believing in each other as much as you trust yourself, believing your relationship will last forever, and standing by the vows that you will say here today.